Alright, hi guys. I'm currently in the closet behind the classroom, and you can probably hear kids talking, so I apologize for the extra noise. Hopefully you can still hear me though. I'll test this video at the end. So this is your first official homework notes. This is on the CHNOPS. That's how you pronounce this down here. CHNOPS, CHNOPS. So this will just remind you every time to update your table of contents. So today's date, CHNOPS homework notes, and you can get started. The next slide will tell you what we did in class that day. So notice inquiry and claims is what we did today in class and is not what this PowerPoint is about. This PowerPoint is about something different. Alright, so the question is, what elements do you think make up the human body? Think about it. What makes up us, our hair and our skin and our fingernails? What are the elements that make up the human body? I'll give you a second. You might be wondering, what are elements, right? So think about the periodic table of elements. All of these guys are elements. Which ones do you think make up the human body? For example, Cu is copper. Do you think we have copper in our body? Hopefully you don't, because you would be poisoned. That would be bad. So the elements that make up the human body are CHNOPS. C-H-N-O-P-S. Notice this is starred. You need to write this down. I'm about to give you all the notes though. So 6 elements only, these 6, make up 98% of living organisms. C stands for carbon, H stands for hydrogen, N stands for nitrogen, I forgot the O. O stands for oxygen, and P stands for phosphorus. Lastly, S stands for sulfur. Also, organism just means living thing. So everything that's alive, 98% of it is made of these 6. Remember, O is oxygen. So definitely write all these down, each of these acronyms. You can pause the video and do that. Alright, when you're ready, what is an element? What do you think? We listed some examples, but what exactly is an element? Again, it's starred. An element is the simplest form of a pure substance. You need to write that down. This means they cannot be broken down. And then they are made of atoms, which is the smallest part of an element that still has the properties of that element. Those are 2 vocab words. Please write those down. Element equals and atoms equals. What does an atom look like? This is an atom. This is a drawing of an atom, at least. These are also atoms. An atom of hydrogen looks different from an atom of deuterium, looks different from an atom of tritium. That's because atoms are the smallest part of an element that still have properties of that element. So these are the properties that make a hydrogen, these are the properties that make a deuterium. The structure of an atom is very important. You will need it for biology and for chemistry. And currently we're in our unit of biochemistry, so it makes sense. This is starred, meaning you actually need to draw this image. I wrote a note here too. So do a couple little circles, have half of them be one color, or blank, and half of them be another color, maybe filled in. And the colored one can be the protons, the non-colored can be the neutrons, and all together this makes up the nucleus. So you want to draw a circle around it to make the nucleus, and then electrons are these little guys that are whizzing around the nucleus. So these lines are actually not made of anything, they're just referencing the fact that electrons go around and around and around. So pause the video and draw this whole thing and make sure it's labeled. Here are atoms of the different elements. So if you'll notice that an atom of hydrogen looks different from an atom of oxygen, different from an atom of nitrogen. An atom is the smallest part of an element that cannot be broken down. People always ask, is water an element? And the answer is, no, it's not. It's a compound. What's a compound? It's like when you put 2 things together, right? So a compound is a combination of 2 or more elements, such as water, H2O. So there are 2 hydrogens connected to the oxygen in the middle. This is starred, so you just need to write compound equals combination of 2 or more elements, and I would put water as your example, H2O. So CHNOPS, you need to memorize those, okay? Each one of those. And don't forget the oxygen like I did, because oxygen is important. If you ever see a question such as, which of the following would you find in the wing of a butterfly? The options are A, carbon, B, potassium, C, copper, or D, magnesium. What do you think the answer is? Remember, a butterfly is living. A wing of a butterfly is living. It has cells. CHNOPS are the elements of living things. So you should recognize that when anything is living, it is made of a living CHNOP. So it must be carbon, because that is the only one that is one of the CHNOPS. Remember, potassium is not that P. That P is phosphorus. This is a really important MCAS trick. You can put this slide in your own words, but you need to write it down. Even if you're not taking the MCAS, you'll have MCAS questions from me, so you'll need it. If you ever see a question where carbon is an answer option, choose it. It's always the answer. If carbon is not an option, choose one of the other CHNOPS. So it would be the H, the N, the O, the P, or the S. So anytime you see a question where elements are answer options, the answer is always a CHNOPS. It's just how the MCAS works. So don't choose magnesium, don't choose copper. It's either carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, or sulfur. And if carbon is one of the options, choose carbon every time. Just want to give you a brief idea of how the elements look. You don't have to write this down. Carbon, here's a big hunk of carbon. Hydrogen is a gas, so you can't see it, so it's often represented as just a hydrogen atom floating in the air. Nitrogen is a gas that you can't see, but we do have a liquid nitrogen, which is what that looks like. Super cool. Oxygen is also a gas, as you know, which we can't see, but we can see bubbles that hold oxygen. So the water has to go around the oxygen, and it makes a bubble. Phosphorus is this copperish, reddish looking stuff. It can be poisonous in large quantities. And sulfur is this kind of pretty yellow stuff, also very poisonous. So just to review from this PowerPoint, an element is the simplest form of a pure substance. An atom is the smallest part of an element. A compound is 2 or more elements together. CHNOPS are the elements that make up life. And if any CHNOPS are an answer option on an MCAS question, circle them. The end. Good job. Don't forget to fill out the Google form. So you go to my website, gateleyscience.com, fall semester, type in a question, write your name and date, and you're done. Good job, guys.